Welcome, everybody, to The Dynasty, a podcast on the Alabama Crimson Tide. I'm Chris Stewart, along with national champions A.J. McCarron and, of course, Trent Richardson. So glad you're with us, and want to remind you that new episodes drop each week. YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Find us at thedynastybama.com. And if you are sharing on social media, and we hope you are, at The Dynasty Bama is how you can do so. Guess what we're going to talk about this week? Reaction to the Tide's win over Tennessee. Bama 6-1 on the year, top 5 in the country now. The good, the bad, and the ugly in the win, and also looking ahead to the matchup at South Carolina this week. Guys, pretty special. Again, it's always special, frankly, when it's Alabama and Tennessee. We find it much more special when Alabama gets the victory, but the manner in which it took place on Saturday, electric. I don't know. We hadn't talked. I don't know if either of you guys were there, but I can tell you the noise in that place, it rivaled the Rocky Block from Terrence Cody when that pick six takes place and Zabien Brown made sure that game stayed firmly in Alabama's command. Whether you were there or not, as we saw in videos, you could hear Bryany-Denny Stadium literally from 3 miles away. How about for you guys in your perspective?
Well, it was, I was in the middle of Dega infield, and
You're hearing all sorts of stuff then.
Yeah, but it was, you hear cheers, and then right next to us where we set up my motorhome, we had a massive group of Tennessee Vols fans. So they were great, and they started out playing their before the game, playing their Rocky Top, and they were all into it. And about midway through the fourth quarter, all the jerseys, all the Tennessee gear was off.
Yeah.
And they were getting on the cart, and we all started joking with them, "Where are you going? The game's not over yet." And they were headed to Dega Boulevard. So it was awesome, though.
It was special. How about for you, Trent?
Man, I got to spend time for the first time at home, and since the football season started, and got to chill with the family and be appreciative about that, man. I actually had a long week. We had a game every day this week as far as coaching and middle school ball with TJ and Lil Lee with Tyrell, and so we've been moving around this week, but got to see Talia. Her birthday was on the 16th, so I got to go up and surprise her. But man, we got her to the game. I didn't go to the game. I got her to the game. But man, just watching the game, man, just looking at how we had an answer for everything that they threw at us, and how the offense just fought all night. Ryan came up big, played the ball that we know he can play. It was a lot of key factors in this game, and it's a lot to get into today.
Yeah, there's a ton. Let's start with the pick six and the impact of that play. And really, it was the final 7 minutes of that second quarter, because it's 7-7. Tennessee's got the ball. They get a first down, but they get called for a holding penalty on offense. Backs them up. The next play or 2 plays later, I can't remember exactly which it was, the grounding call in the end zone. And now it's 9-7. And not wasting the opportunity, Alabama drives down the field, scores on Jam Miller's run, which is the fact that Jam played and was effective as he was, another topic for later in the podcast. But that happens. And then it looked like Tennessee was getting the momentum. And here's the thing. There were 9 seconds to go. Yes, they're on the 1-yard line, but it was either second or third down. They've got time to run 2 plays, but with no timeouts left, AJ, it's a pass play. In all likelihood, they're going to throw it right there. The gamble is the run, but going to the air, and man, as you go back and watch that play, basically the handoff of one guy to the next for that Bama defense was textbook, and the throw barely off allows Zabien Brown to, as the fight song says, rid his name in crimson flame.
No, I mean, that play by Zabien was the game-changing play of the whole game. I mean, like you said, they had all the momentum. I thought it was bad clock management by Heupel right there at the end. They let a lot of time run off, I mean, in our favor. But, I mean, you really stuck yourself, I believe it was second down. Because I was thinking, all right, well, if they get in the shotgun, they spread them out, and you try to throw 2 quick fades, you got enough time in 9 seconds to throw 2 back shoulders or something.
Right.
But to go, hell, it looked like Spider 2 Y Banana.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
they called it that.
Really? And
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it looked like. I don't know if it got tipped at the line or
I
what.
think it did. It looked like it did.
I thought the throw was just that bad.
Yeah, from the camera.
The throw
from
was
the
way
TV,
off, but it
yeah.
kind of floated. So I don't know if whoever the DN was that the fullback or tight end's supposed to bluff before he gets to the flat right there.
Yeah.
Is either he got a hand on it or he affected him enough to where he lost, and the tight end fullback was behind the guy. And so it made him leave it behind him instead of, I mean, as a quarterback, if you miss, you got to miss out in front. You can't float that ball. And he didn't. Usually on Spider 2 Y Banana, a lot of guys, when they come out, they'll set up off of the play action fake and see the corner first. If not, they stay on the move, like a little float to the right. The fact that he didn't, he kind of just planted his feet and then tossed it, also is not great for that play. I've ran Spider 2 Y Banana and Spider 3 Y Banana a ton in my career, especially with being there with Gruden for a year in Oakland. But I mean, unbelievable play by Zabien to sit back in his zone, see it, see the ball, and go get the ball, and then hell to run it 100 yards and get out of the tackle. I mean, that's some running back type stuff. Like, hey, picking your knees up, picking your legs up, and getting out of that tackle towards the end so you don't get tripped up. It changed the game, changed all the momentum because, like you said, Tennessee had the momentum.
I'm glad you said it that way because I was going to ask Trent to break down the run because it wasn't just outrunning. The running back almost had the running back for Tennessee had the angle, and Zabien kind of, he didn't dead leg him, but he kind of dipped that shoulder just for a split second that gave the impression he might try to cut it back, and that was all the pause he needed from the guy chasing him to get it down the sideline and score that touchdown. Because if the guy gets him to the ground, we get no points. Now, we've turned him away, which would have been still big, but to completely flip it, he's got to get in the end zone right there because there's no time left by the time he got to midfield.
Yeah, I could tell you, he can only think one thing in that situation. I've been in that situation before. I got to get in the end zone. I got to get in the end zone. For him, man, it was a great finish. A great, hell of a play, but even better finish, man, to be the runner. And for the running back to know that, hey, this could be possibly a cutback, He's thinking like me, like now you got to put yourself in his situation, and it's different when you're a running back. You're not the tackler. And so I was always the guy who always kept his head on the swivel when somebody threw a pick. If they threw a pick anywhere, I ain't had many of my days. It might have been one I almost got cracked on. I think that might have been the LSU game. The first one, I think. But the way he kind of gave, we call it a hezzy. He kind of gave him a little hezzy, gave him a little, I might cut back tight, give him a little jump, and old boy dove, and he finished it, man. He got them legs up, and so when you look at the run, it was an excellent run, but even better play. But that cat there, man, he set us up to let them know, like, no matter what, like, we gonna play 4 whole quarters. And for real, to me, that might have been the best game Bama played all the way around this. No, I'm lying because we didn't have a run game.
Yeah.
But far as skill position and far as receivers, far as DBs, I felt like they played pretty good.
Let's get into some of the other big plays, and I want to know for you guys. I mean, that was the play, but on the whole, what was the difference in the game for you? Was it the defense's ability to create negative plays, because they did have 4 sacks, 8 tackles for loss, a safety, and the pick six? Was it the offense with 4 TDs, 4 trips in the red zone, so 4 for 4 there? You know, the response at the right moment was obviously big throughout the course of the game. Heck, to me, it's probably the defense. This Tennessee squad that was averaging 28 points more per game than they scored. You didn't just hold them to their average or below their average. You held them 4 scores below their average.
It's 100% the defense.
Yeah.
And listen, big props, and you know, we've been tough on him. But I thought Ryan Williams catching the ball with his hands this game was massive. Really proud of him for showing growth in that department, or just the confidence that he played with tracking the ball over his shoulder, catching the ball a couple times across the middle with his hands. But he was catching the ball, and he was confident with his hands. It wasn't everything with his chest. Really proud of him. But
he went and got it the whole time. Everything he was going to get it.
And that's what you need from him. And even when they put him in the slot, it's the best I'd seen him run over routes. He had a big catch on an over route. He was running full speed. He wasn't timid. And maybe the last 2 weeks of not playing, you know, as many snaps, finally got him going and you know, made him go out and prove something to not only to his team but to himself. But it's 100% the defense. I mean, because if you don't get the pick six right there, they score. I think they're down 2. Then then what? Jam ends up scoring. Or
Jam
scored.
Yeah.
Before that. And then, but
they start the second half, we get the ball first, and
we don't do anything with it.
3 and out. Yeah, exactly. Right. And then we turned it over the second drive. We turned over the second drive too.
Yeah.
Right. And they scored. So I mean, that right there changes the game.
No doubt.
And the fact that Tennessee, from a offensive line standpoint, was highly ranked, had played well most of the year, and to get 4 sacks on them, I thought the defensive line, because it's the honest truth, we haven't been known for getting pressure on the quarterback and getting sacks. I mean, that's one of our, you know, supposedly weak spots on our defense is the fact that we just don't have a dominant pass rusher. I thought even early in the game, the stunts they were doing along with the backers and the blitzes they were hitting Tennessee's O-line with was awesome. And a lot of credit to them, the big boys up front, the linebackers playing well, and then Kane coming up with the these schemes to take advantage of them. I thought it was awesome.
Trent, he said we haven't had a real true pass rusher, but it looks like Yhonzae Pierre is working his way towards that pretty quickly, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, man. That kid got a lot of energy. He got a lot of energy, strong as hell. He got real big hands too, man. Got them big catching, like big Josh Chapman down there.
Yeah.
But that kid, man, he came up big, and I mean, well, he had 3 sacks.
Had at least 2 and close on another one, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they might have gave it to him. But
May have. It was 3. Steven
Yeah.
Steven reminds me it was 3. My bad.
Yeah, but when you look at what that kid did, like, he was a game changer. Like AJ said, we haven't had to rush the passer. We haven't had that this year. And this kid here, he showed up Saturday, and he did what he had to do to seal that victory, man. And so I'm proud of him. But when it come down to it, man, that defense, they was the game changer. And we love everything that Ryan did. Trust me, that kid, he's been through a lot, and it's been a lot on him. You know, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, when you want to be that guy and when you deserve to be that guy, you got to be that guy all the time.
Yeah.
And so I think the kid deserved to be the guy, and I think the kid is that guy. I think it's just all coming, out at one time. But I think, the last couple weeks he's been injured. I know people were saying he had no catches last week. Listen, the kid was injured. He came back this week and he played hard, and the kid fought through. He used his hands. His hands were strong. He caught some unbelievable passes on the edge. Played good in the slot, like AJ said. So, listen, our biggest thing, man, is to get better at this run game.
Yeah, it get better, more consistent, but it looks like they're definitely trending that way. I mean, and we've talked about it. There are things they do in the pass game that are basically runs. They're basically extended handoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But the true traditional lineup, we're coming at you. Daniel Hill gives them a little bit more of that, in addition to what Jam and Kevin Riley are doing. But to have Daniel start to come along and be the third, and I give him all the credit in the world for keeping himself locked in and focused when he didn't have the reps in game. He was ready when he was called on against Missouri last week, and I thought the timing of some of his carries were big on Saturday, AJ, against Tennessee.
Well, 100%. Listen, what makes Daniel Hill so special with his ability is his daggum size. I mean, the dude is a big dude. And even watching him, in the Florida State game, it was him running tough and behind his pads. But I think it's for sure those three guys, and with Jam, Kevin, and Daniel there, that you got to find a way to have a good mixture for all three. Find out what they're great at. Because listen, Kevin, I know he was 3 carries for -2 yards, but Kevin's still a special player, and you can use him in so many different ways, from a screen standpoint, catching the ball, and then Jam is Jam, and when you throw Daniel in the mix as well, especially as a back that's fresh late in the game type deal, that still has fresh legs, that can get some downhill runs in the O-line and get behind the O-line, and the O-line impose their will on the D-line as they're tired late in the game. Like, that's what you want, because when you can have 2 running backs, that's great. But when you have 3 and it's a 3-headed monster, like that's what makes it special. When it especially boils down to a 4-minute offense, and you can wear teams down late in the game.
All right, guys, we're going to step aside for a quick break. When we come back, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and we're also going to continue to talk about the Alabama victory over the Tennessee Vols. Cigar smoke still wafting through the air in the state of Alabama after the Tide's victory over the Volunteers. We're back in a minute. It's The Dynasty, a podcast on the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Breakfast might be the most important choice you make all day. That's because with Wendy's 2 for $3 breakfast, you can mix and match your very own perfect pairing of our delicious morning favorites.
With this breakfast deal, the choice is all yours, not someone else's. And isn't that how it should be? It's your breakfast, after all, not Martha's. She can pick her own breakfast. This one's all for you, no matter what you choose, from our sausage biscuit with that grilled breakfast sausage, or the egg and cheese biscuit with fresh cracked grade A egg and melty American cheese on a fluffy buttermilk biscuit, a small size of perfectly seasoned potatoes, or a medium hot coffee to power through the morning. All you got to do is pick your ideal morning pair.
You really can't lose, because you're the one calling the shots. The choice is all yours.
Wake up to Wendy's 2 for $3 breakfast just the way you want it. Limited time only during breakfast hours. U.S. price and participation may vary. No substitutions, not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price. Glad you're with us here for the Dynasty, a podcast on the Alabama Crimson Tide with Trent and AJ. I'm Chris. New episodes again each week. TheDynastyBama.com is where you can find us, whatever streaming platform you're using, but also hope you'll rate, review, and share. Check us out across social media at The Dynasty Bama. Guys, let's talk about some different things here real quick. How much of a step forward, Trent, do you feel like the defense took in this ball game? Again, we've already talked about the numbers piece of it alone. You hold a team that's averaging 48 a game to just 20. That in and of itself says a lot. But where specifically do you feel like they took a step forward in this one?
Well, I think that when you can cause turnovers or get sacks and you cause mental lapse on the offensive side, I think that's a big difference. But for me, we got to stop the long drives. Like we're letting them extend too many plays for a long period of time. For me, I like the 3 and out. Let's get our defense off the field, get the offense back, and everybody likes that, right? But I do think they've taken a step forward coming from first week to now, definitely. But each game, they're causing turnovers each game, and when you win a turnover battle, you're gonna win a game.
Yeah, AJ, I don't want to steer it away from the route you want to go, but I know Coach always talked about making their ass quit and also breaking their will. You get a pick six on the final play of the first half after they've driven it down to your one, and then at the end of the game, to make it end with them not being able to get in the end zone and the time running out, that to me does a huge world of good for that Bama defense going into this week, getting ready to take on, a lesser team in South Carolina. But just for who you are and the confidence of your defense, I got to think that's huge as well.
Oh, 100%. Listen, I believe they're second in the SEC in turnover ratio, like plus 1.4 right now. I think they're maybe fourth in the entire country.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what you need out of this defense. You need them to step up in key moments that flips the game on its head. And especially at home, you definitely got to make those type of plays at home. And then if you can get a couple and still a couple on the road, but listen, I'm proud as hell of this defense because I just think to be able to take that Tennessee offense, which is as long as Heupel's been there and as long as Heupel has been an OC and a head coach, I mean, that's what he's known for is an explosive play offense. They're going to spread you out. They're going to run the football, and then they're going to create explosive plays. And I thought they took a big step forward, and especially with the D-line getting so much pressure on him, on Aguilar was massive for him. Now, you got to keep this momentum, and it's a different style of quarterback going into this week with Lenore Sellers. But having that momentum coming out of the Tennessee game is something you love to see from the defense for sure.
It was 23-13. We'd already talked about the fact, Bama went 3 and out. Tennessee scores to make it a 10-point game. You turn it over around midfield. They get it back, can't do anything with it. We got the ball back again. And there was a play, it's first or second down. We ran a gadget play. And it looks like Germie's going to try to throw a pass back to Ty. It doesn't go in the stats as one, but it was a 33-yard play that Germie Bernard makes because if he gets hit there, he's going to lose 15. And instead, he almost single-handedly turns it into an 18-yard gain. That's a massive, massive play that's easy to get lost, Trent, in a game like this. And I want to hear from both of you about that and part of just who Germie Bernard is and how valuable he is to this team.
Dog. big dog,
Big
pit
dog.
bull puppy. Ain't no pit bull puppies out them pit bull, but grown dogs out there, baby. Nah, man. But the play that he made, I mean, he hit him with that he hit him with that, because that play could have
What
been.
was it again? Hit him with that what? That's what I thought it was.
Hell, he broke damn 3 or 4 tackles in that extended
that play would have been
too.
like a 33-yard loss. Like, he went so far back. I don't understand why he went so far back. I know it's a design. I think he might have went too far back, but
it was 15. It's going to be a 15-yard loss, and instead he turns it into an 18-yard gain.
Yeah, that dude, man, that dude is a master when it comes to making people miss in space and just making the first defender miss. Like, that dude just different, man. Like, he Germie Bernard.
Yeah. And again, AJ, is just the timing to not let it go negative and let things go further south as they were kind of trending in that moment. So very big.
Well, I mean, listen, it's the old saying of don't make a bad play worse. And you hear it for quarterbacks a lot of times. And I mean, in that situation, he had to be a quarterback. So it was either throw it away because he looked like for a second it was, oh, I'm going to launch this. And then something clicked with him where, this doesn't look right. So to have the mental fortitude behind it to really say, oh, this ain't the best thing for me in a split second decision, and to, make something else happen, to either not throw it away, but use your legs and break 3 or 4 tackles and get a first down was, unbelievable play. Keeps the momentum because listen, it's great. And Grubb's doing, throwing out these trick plays and pulling them out of his bag. It seems like each and every week since the bye week, going into the Georgia game. But those plays are great when they work.
Right.
Yeah.
And what kills it and kills the momentum and kills the whole vibe behind, all right, keeping these trick plays going is when you have a really bad trick play and it just goes terrible for you. That as an offensive coordinator and probably coming from the head coach is, hey, let's chill out on these trick plays. But while they're working, they're good. And you keep calling them and you go with them. And each and every week they're going to come up with one, right? You're going to have some sort of gadget play. And that's the type of players you need, though, in your offense and on your team, is when you do run these trick plays and shit goes bad, don't make a bad play worse. And unbelievable heads up play by Bernard. I mean, I think he's been behind Todd, the MVP of the team all year.
Yeah.
And he's a special player.
There's a ton.
I love the fact that he's playing his tail off and he's playing so well. And it's a little bit of crow for everybody, all the so-called experts and media people that didn't vote for him in the preseason All-SEC team.
Man, there's so much stuff I've looked at. I want to go over the fact that guys are, one catch for Rico Scott, but it's a touchdown. He hadn't had a grab in a while, but he's guys that are making sure they're ready. Daniel Hill, 1 catch, but for 16 yards, and then the job he did running the ball. Isaiah, 1 catch, 2 yards, but it was a touchdown. That's an example, and we don't have time to go into all of it, but I do want us to get into something we started a week ago, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So it's easy for me. The goods, we won. The bad was that it finally had to end, and the ugly is the Orange of Tennessee. That's my good, bad, ugly. I got a feeling y'all were a little more detailed in your picks, but let's see what you got, guys. Hit me. You want to go first, Trent, on your good?
I mean, on my good, man, you had to go with Ty and what Ryan has done last week. Ty just been very consistent, man, and just knowing how to manage the game. Like, he's been a real point guard as a quarterback. When you're a real good point guard, you know when to slow the game down, you know when to speed it up, you know what passes to make, the no-look passes, how to set up the play. Like, Ty is that right now. And what Ryan did, man, grabbing the ball, being sure with his hands, being physical with his hands, being playing through strong hands, like having strong hands, like that guy. He's had a tough. I ain't gonna say a tough season, but he's had a lot of pressure on him this year, and that guy has came up big. When he's available, and when he's available, he's really good at what he do, and he came better in the slot this week too. So for me, man, that's my good.
How about you, AJ?
Yeah, the good for me is strictly Ryan Williams. Listen, I was critical on him after the first game, us being basically from the same area and hearing it from, from his dad, from all of his friends, people I work out with that know him really well, and then for it to get back to Ryan as well. And like I told them, never meant anything personal. I just know um, what to expect from him. And I'm going to be critical of him because I think the world of him from a talent standpoint, and he's a good kid. On top of that, but I thought he took a step in the right direction and a big step in the right direction with not only for his confidence, but his teammates, everybody involved with him, and then also into his future. I mean, playing in the NFL because he's got to show that he can catch the ball with his hands. I understanding, and he's got to show that he can make plays from not just out wide, but the slot position. And because when you look at the the receiver position in the NFL, unless you're a AJ Brown or a Julio Jones, like you're being stuck at every spot on the field. You're playing outside, you're playing inside, you're
Mm-hmm.
going to play right, you're going to play left. Um, and he's got to be able to show that. And he did that this week. And listen, I've been critical on him from catching everything with his pads and letting it get into his chest, and to see him go out and make 3 or 4 catches with his hands, uh, and then also making those catches from the slot position, and seeing him run full speed on over routes and finishing the play out was awesome. So big props to Ryan, proud of him, and looking forward to next week watching him do it again.
All right, Trent, let's go bad. What you got for the bad in this one?
Man, I hate to say it, man, but it's got to be the elephant in the room, man. We got to be able to run the ball. Like, we can't be a unstoppable team if we cannot run the ball. Like, I don't care what you say. If we cannot do the run game and the passing game on the same level, like, it's going to be tough to be a championship team. Now, do I think we can do that? Yes, I think we do have the backs for it. I think we had the offensive line for it. I just think we just got to keep pushing, man, and keep getting better. At the same time, people got to realize, too, we have been known to be a running school, so, people are going to crack down on the run on us. But at the same time, our identity lately has been that we have had tons of receivers come through and some good quarterbacks. So, man, we got to get this run game going, man, because that's going to open up a lot more for the passing game and make this team more of a balanced team.
AJ?
I'd say the bad for me, I don't know how bad it is. I mean, this, just kind of getting stuck in a category, but um, probably taking advantage of opportunities when the defense does get turnovers, or you're able to get a 2-for-1, like we get the pick six right before halftime. And as an offense, you get the ball to open up the second half. You got to go out and score.
Yeah.
Because that puts the game away right there.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't, you go 3 and out. Tennessee scores, and then you had the fumble as well. Those types of things are what, small things that catch up to you and will end up getting getting you beat. So I think being able to you know really finish teams when you got them down, don't allow them back, because we've had this stretch Georgia not playing well as an offense in the second half. Then it rolls over into Missouri and you didn't play. You had a chance. You're up 17-7 on them. And you have a chance to put them away and you kind of let them come back. I thought as a team they finished better, but I'd like to see the offense in the second half start to finish teams a little better as a whole.
To your point, I made reference on the radio broadcast for the network that it started to have an eerie feeling to Georgia last year. And even though we got that win, everybody remembers how you had the big lead at the half. They started to come back. They even had to go for it on 4th and a yard deep in their own territory. I mean, I say deep relative to the situation. It was inside their own 35-yard line. They went for it on the first drive they had of the third quarter, which was exactly what Georgia had to do in making their comeback. Ultimately won by Alabama on that 4 + 2 = 6 play. All right, let's go the ugly. Trent, what was the ugly?
For me, I didn't see my guy Big K Proctor with the ball this week, man. I didn't see him in the red zone. So
the streak, they had him as a decoy. They had him as a big old decoy.
When he in there in the red zone, we win it. So that's all I know. Hey.
Yeah. How about you, AJ?
I'm going to take more of a coaching route from this. So it's still these little issues we're having with the play clock. Just because as a quarterback, I understand like how critical this play clock is. And I just don't want this to creep up and bite us in the rear end in some, tough games or on the road coming up. I want us to figure out what is going on. Like, is it the communication from Grubb down to Ty or whoever, or is it Grubb telling Nick and then I don't know if Nick's calling the plays into Ty or what, but or are we breaking the huddle too slow? Do we have too many checks? But I'd like to see us start cleaning this play clock issue up because we're running everything down to 1 or snapping it while it's on 0.
Yeah.
All right, people got to realize, like, this is coming from somebody that, like, we was, like, at practice, coach used to have us on, like, a stopwatch. Like, am I right, AJ? Like, he used to time us on every – and, like, if we wasn't hitting a certain time, like, bro, that was going to be a tough practice. Like, he was going to get on after us all day. So, trust me, like, I know it's giving AJ gray hair because it gives me gray hairs too, but it's just a part of the system that we have been in.
Yeah, I mean, even at how we would fix it, Chris, at practice is we would start the play clock in some periods at 15 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so as soon as you broke the huddle, it was at 15 seconds. And so you had to get up and we would still have checks. I mean, we still had to go through, or is it a C3 over here? Is it a run to one side to now we can to the other? Are we Oscar, we flip it, or we changing protections? Like, just to speed up the process and put pressure on you to where when it happens in the game and you're late during our time getting a signal in, or you got Signetti or somebody that has messed up the signal, or I didn't see it or whatever, but you're just having to speed
Barrett
up.
Jones.
Yeah, or Barrett's changing. Yeah. Comment there.
Trent, let's let the record show Trent's the one that started that and then jumped out of the way. He initiated that. All right, when we come back, it'll be our Wonder Fan games of the week. We're also going to have our preview of Alabama and South Carolina. Stay with us. Our final segment for this week coming up here on The Dynasty, a podcast on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Support for The Dynasty comes from Google. Every August, we talk about new rule changes coming to college football, but now that we're in the middle of the season, hard to follow the real impact those rules are having on the games, like the big one being the crackdown on fake injuries. And we saw that be a big part of conversation during the offseason for the last few years. Trying to get that out of the way is a big part of the conversation. But with AI mode in Google search, you can just type in, how have this year's college football rule changes impacted the season so far? And AI Mode will put together the key details and give you a summarized AI-powered response. It's perfect for those big, nuanced questions that don't have one simple answer.
It doesn't end there. Let's say you want to keep digging deeper. With AI Mode, you don't have to start a new search. You can ask direct follow-ups to learn more about specifics or explore related ideas.
So whether you're wondering about a complex scheme, a new rule, or how the transfer portal works, with AI Mode, you can just ask Google.
Glad you're with us here on The Dynasty, a podcast on the Alabama Crimson Tide. The Dynasty Bama is where you can find our different platforms, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. But thedynastybama.com is a good hub to go and check it out initially. If you can't remember exactly where, but also if you're listening, hope that you'll rate, review, and check us out across social media at the Dynasty Bama as well. Stephen Gorky, our producer, does a fantastic job of sending out clips and different ways for you to interact with us each week at the Dynasty Bama. Hope you'll take advantage of that. Also, hope you'll take advantage of the Wonder Fan app. It's a great partner with us here on the show, and it's time for our must-watch games of the week, brought to you by Wonder Fan, the app that pays you to be a fan. That's a pretty good deal. It's absolutely free to use. You earn rewards for doing things that you already love, like attending games, watching live sports on TV, and now watching podcasts like The Dynasty on YouTube. AJ, none of that happens, though, if they don't download the app first.
You got to download the app. We've all done it. Takes you nothing but a couple minutes, and then sign up, register. Listen, a ton of fans of Bama fans have already done it. So make sure you download the app, register, so you can collect all the points you need, not only for college football, but NFL as well.
Yeah, you got paid to watch Bama beat Tennessee, so that's a good deal for you. If you want to get paid to watch this show, it's pretty easy. You'll earn 50 Wonder or points. WUNDR is what they call the points there, the payment, if you will, by submitting a screenshot in that Wonder Fan app as you watch the podcast on your connected TV or any second screen, just as you do when you're watching live sports. And as always, you're going to earn double points when you use Wonder Fan's Watch to Earn feature for any of our must-watch games of the week. So what game will you have your eye on this week, Trent? What you got?
Man, I got the Ole Miss at Oklahoma. Ole Miss coming off a terrible loss against Georgia. Can they bounce back? And can the quarterback keep playing good football over there? How the defense is going to respond? Everybody's seen, them kind of get exposed in the second quarter against Georgia when Kirby, made changes. So, how is that going to go? And Oklahoma, off a big win against South Carolina. Defense was amazing against Lenore Sellers. And quarterback has been playing great football. He had to get back. And so I want to see that battle of the quarterbacks and trying to see who's going to be, getting a bounce back game or who's going to keep on to a 2-game win streak.
Yeah. AJ, what you got for us?
It's A&M at LSU. Does LSU, bounce back and win out? They got to win out to have a chance to make the playoffs. They've had a letdown year with how they started the year and what it looked like it was going to be for them. And it's been a little rough lately. So I tell you that the other concerning thing is A&M giving up the amount of yards they gave up against Arkansas. A&M's been in some close games this year. So I think with their struggles on defense that people were kind of shocked by this weekend, can LSU put it together and get a big win? Or do you start seeing articles and is Brian Kelly the next head coach that's getting fired soon? So it's a big weekend for them.
Boy, it is. And again, you're going to earn double points when you use Wonder Fans Watch to Earn feature for any of our must-watch games of the week. That's Ole Miss, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, LSU, and, of course, Alabama, South Carolina. The best part, you get to redeem those points for things you actually want, like memorabilia, gear, gift cards to some of your favorite restaurants and retailers. Trent, you got your eye on any of those gift cards? right now?
I definitely do, man. I've been looking at this Best Buy because I want to go get the new Meta glasses. I need them.
Oh, okay. Not shocked. So if you're ready to get started to get paid to be a fan, visit wonderfan.com. That's WUNDERFAN.com. Find it in the Apple or Android App Store to download the app. Wonder Fan, where it pays to be a fan. All right, Alabama coming off 4 straight games against ranked opponents and then has a bye week after this one. Can they be disciplined enough to not look ahead to that bye week or to LSU? Because South Carolina is 3-4, just 1-4 in the SEC, and they're coming off that loss that you just talked about, Trent to Oklahoma, 26-7. AJ, how challenging, I should say, is it to avoid a letdown in this type of spot?
Well, I mean, it's massive. You can't run the risk of losing another one and then being in the same situation that other teams are, a la LSU. Like it's where you're in a situation of having to win out no matter what for the rest of the year, and then hoping to get in as a 10-2 team. So this is big because Bama has had struggles with quarterbacks that are, mobile, and and so can you keep a South Carolina team that's been down for basically the entire season so far, and you go into a hostile environment at South Carolina and get a win, because every week is tough, and especially when you're at the University of Alabama, you have a target on your back and on your chest at all times, and you're going to get everybody's best game. So you got to go in and play well and stop Lenore Sellers from a offensive standpoint, and on their side of the ball on defense, Dylan Stewart, who's probably top 3 pass rusher in the entire country. So it's going to be big.
Trent, our producer, Steve, gives me notes, and he's got a question I'm supposed to ask was there anything special Coach Saban would do in these types of situations? And I already know the answer. He made life a living hell for y'all on weeks like this. Because I remember specifically a game in Starkville. You beat Mississippi State, and you're going to have one of the old 1AA opponents the week before you play Auburn. And, I mean, literally, we hadn't even gotten out to record the postgame show on the field, and he's already fit to be tied. I mean, he is ticked. Y'all just won a really good game against a good Mississippi State team. And, I mean, he's fussing, cussing, everything, because he would be so locked in, worried about you looking ahead to what is next. And I know South Carolina is far from an FBS team, or FCS team, I should say, but you know what I'm talking about. It's the same type of motivation to not look past a team that may be unranked.
Yeah, well, first of all, life was living here every week when we talking about practice.
That's a great point. That is a great point. My bad.
It wasn't a week. It wasn't like that. I mean, no, I'm just but
no, you ain't playing.
Well, no, I'm not playing. But when you think about weeks like this, and let's face it, South Carolina not the team that we thought they was going to be this year, but South Carolina's still in the SEC. So those these games that you cannot count out, but these games is kind of hard to get up for because of the record, right? But if you lose this one, if you get into a dogfight with these type of games here, man, that's them games that you don't want to jump on your back, because it will be a long day for you. We just watched the Tennessee game, but you go back to the 2009 Tennessee game, and we had a night, like it was a long night, man.
Sure.
It came down to a blocked field goal by Terrence Cody. But that was one of those games, and I think the next week we might have had South Carolina, and Mark went for like 240 something.
That was a Wildcat game, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the Wildcat game, but it was still a tough game.
Yeah.
So it was, but those are the teams that it's kind of hard to get up for me, it was kind of hard to get up for my freshman year. But then when you start learning the rival and the history of the teams and stuff like that, it's okay, now I understand it. But man, those are the type of games, man, you'll get punched in the mouth real quick.
AJ, they do have Lenore Sellers. I mean, they got a weapon at quarterback, but their defense has forced as many turnovers as Alabama's has. I think it's at 12. If you're not careful, this can be similar to the Vanderbilt game last year, where you're on such a high from a great win, and then you face a very talented, dangerous quarterback. And if you do get sloppy with the football and are uncharacteristic with turning it over, now you got to fight, and that place gets as loud and as rowdy as anywhere 100%. When it's on.
100%. Yeah, I mean, that's what I said. Like, I mean, you have to be focused. I mean, you can't take your foot off the gas pedal. It's just what comes with the territory of playing at Alabama week in and week out. And I mean, Lenoris hasn't played as well as people thought this year. Their offense has struggled to put up points, but you don't want this to be a game that everything just clicks. And there's going to be some of those games throughout the season where it's like, man, this team hasn't played this well, and they're just hitting on all cylinders. But and that's why I'm so critical on all the little things, and it seems minute and, oh, well, he's just worrying. It's the little things that add up that catch up to you in a game like this, right? Yeah. And where they just pile up, and then it ends up hitting you, right in the mouth. And so you got to find a way to contain him in the pocket. If he beats you throwing the football, okay, we can live with that. It's the extending plays and using his legs, the things that so many Bama fans have seen in the past with mobile quarterbacks versus us. So you got to be focused, because, I mean, this is a very tough place to play.
Trent, we're sitting here with Bama and South Carolina as the game. What's the Tide got to do to get this win?
Start fast. They definitely got to start fast. And as always, got to be able to control the line of scrimmage. But if you start fast, cause turnovers, take the givens. Ty, just keep playing consistent. Brian, keep coming up big in the ways that you've been coming up big in. Let's get this run game going so we can help those guys out. Yeah. Defense, just cause havoc. It's so much to go into this game, man. But that the week of the preparation for this week, it got to be on point. Because if it's not, I'm telling y'all, man, it's that game. I'm telling you, I've been in this game sophomore year playing against, that one game, right?
Steven Garcia.
Yeah. Me and Mark had Jeffrey. 11 carries put together. Mark had 6, I had 5, and Marcus Lattimore, as a freshman, I think he had 33 or 40 carries or 33 carries, and we was over there scratching our head, mad as hell afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Don't beat us. Don't be us.
Yeah.
So,
and last thought from you, AJ.
3 keys to this game: start fast, stay ahead of the sticks on the offensive side, and then no turnovers. Games like this, you can't play behind the sticks. You can't have negative plays on first, second down. You got to be able to move the ball some, be in third in manageable situations, and then don't kill yourself. You can't go in these types of games and beat yourself. So can't have dumb personal fouls, hitting the quarterback late, falling on them, or offensive holding, false starts. You got to play clean football and take care of the football. But if you start fast and take this crowd out of it, I mean, it's going to be the boo birds that are coming out, and you'll kill the crowd and get them out of the game quick, and that's what you need.
Rather hear the boo birds than that dadgum gamecock crowing. My personal plea is to avoid third down at all costs, because that's when they crank that thing up on the PA, and it is It is not fun. It is loud, and they get sandstorm going, and it's pretty chaotic.
The start of their atmosphere, like the start of the game, is one of the best in the country, though.
Bro,
When they play the techno music and
Yes.
they're waving the white towels, like it's freaking
And they
awesome.
have us right by that student session. Oh my gosh! Like me and Martin was mesmerized. Like we was. Mark got cussed out in the pregame. I got cussed out right behind him. And I think AJ might have got cussed out.
I got cussed out by Signetti during the game. I was turning around watching these girls and what they were wearing.
Where's the shock?
I was like, wow.
This is oh my gosh.
Boy, is it a good time for y'all that we are wrapping up this podcast as we are. We do appreciate you joining us. The podcast called The Dynasty. It's on the Alabama Crimson Tide and whatever else AJ wants to get into. For the aforementioned Mr. McCarron and Mr. Trent Richardson, I'm Chris Stewart. Thanks for joining us. Roll Tide, everybody.